Modes didn't just make a triumphant return in 20th century classical music. They're also heard in modern jazz, and you can even find them occasionally in contemporary popular music. One such example is We Work the Black Seam, a song by Sting. Sting was born in Wallsend on the banks of the River Tyne, and everywhere in his work you can detect the sound of his northeastern roots. The Dorian mode of We Work the Black Seam is one such clue. The Dorian mode of We Work the Black Seam is the same one used in Greensleeves, written in the 16th century. What Sting is doing is associating an ancient British sound with an industry that had been around for centuries. But the fact that a modern pop song should have its roots in a much older melodic tradition shouldn't come as a surprise, since the seeds of the great explosion of popular song that took place in the 20th century, with America as its engine room, were sown long before in the 18th century's slave traffic from Africa and the 19th century's mass migrations from Europe. In the 20th century, American popular music swept the planet, fusing with indigenous forms to create new melodic patterns and possibilities. In the next part, we'll look at the four main ingredients that crossed the Atlantic and went into the American melody mixer.
Just like them pretty girls, when they get some motion. Runs oh me boys, oh runs alright. Oh runs oh you'll rue the day as the wild goose sails away.
The labourers, convicts and prospectors who crossed the Atlantic from Britain and Ireland took with them their modal folk tunes. Before long, they found themselves working alongside slaves and ex-slaves in the plantations, prairies and railroads of the States. The pentatonic, modal nature of African melodies found an unlikely fit with these Anglo-Celtic song types, and from forms such as the Negro spiritual and revivalist songs of redemption, modern soul music developed.
No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh.
But other waves of immigrants brought their melodies to the melting pot of the United States too. Successive migrations by non-conformist religious groups, Puritans, Methodists, Baptists, Presbyterians and others, carried their hymns, psalms and rituals with them to their new promised land. Musically, the most influential religious group to come from England were the Shakers. And when they got to America, a strange thing began happening to their melodies. They became, in a word, happier.
The gift to be simple, 'tis the gift to be free, 'tis the gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right.
'Tis the Gift to be Simple, like most Shaker songs, was meant to be danced to. Its mood is childlike and optimistic, and this is reflected in its beautifully proportioned and instantly memorable tune. Gone are the melancholy modes of much European folk music and the angst-ridden complexities of classical music. In their place is a sound as pure and clear as an Appalachian mountain stream. In 1944, the composer Aaron Copland borrowed "'Tis a Gift to be Simple" as the basis for a ballet suite. The next development in American melody came at the end of the 19th century, thanks to the successive waves of immigrants from Eastern Europe. Many were Jewish, and the impact their klezmer folk music was to have, particularly on the Broadway and Hollywood show song, was enormous. Jewish melody found a new role as the bedrock of the American musical. Irving Berlin's classic song, Blue Skies, was partly inspired by a Yiddish lullaby, Raisins and Almonds.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Oh, bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long.
The melodies we listen to today are a rich mixture of melodic forms, from pentatonic to major and minor patterns, from church and folk modes to blue notes. The simple combination of notes, pitches and intervals has offered and continues to offer endless opportunities for instrumental music and song. This is one such song. It was written in 1969 by Paul Simon, a well-travelled New Yorker of Jewish immigrant stock, whose musical influences are African-American gospel, blues, country music and folk. In this song, it's possible to detect the pentatonic influence of African song, the modality of folk, the vocal range of classical song, the reassurance of gospel, and even the uplifting generosity epitomised by the Shaker spiritual. One day, the provenance of these, its musical roots, will have disappeared. Its indestructible melody, on the other hand, will last forever.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I